Hello students, a very pleasant good morning. Today we are going to see a very interesting story of the world. It is all about the rise of nationalism in Europe. Do you know what is nation and nationalism? People who are living in a definite and recognized geographical boundary areas is termed as nation, and who is having the sense of a common identity and shared history in the territory is termed as nationalism. Here you are watching two maps of global position of seven continents and countries of the present world. In the very first page of your history textbook of NCERT, a picture is given which emphasizing the idea of nationalism. It was prepared by Frederic Sorrieu, a French artist in 1848. He prepared a series of four prints, his dream of world known as democratic and social republic. The first series shows the people of Europe and America, men and women of all ages, and pay homage, that is respecting to the liberty statue as they pass by it. The statue holds the torch in one hand as a symbol of enlightenment and charter of the human rights on the other hand, and the rubble in the foreground of the statue signifies the end of the absolutist institutions and monarchies. In Sorrieu's utopian vision, which means a vision of an ideal society which is not actually exist, the people of USA, Switzerland, France, followed by the people of Germany, Austria, the kingdom of the two Sicilies, Lombardy, Poland, England, Ireland, Hungary and Russia. Jesus Christ and other angels seeing the scene from the heaven, they blessed the people's unity and humanity. Let us understand what is nation state. Is it something like a liquid state or a solid state? No. When and why was the idea of nation state emerged? The concept of modern state is centralized power. If we look at the Europe map of mid-18th century, we would not see the nation states as we know them today, countries like France, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, etc., as shown in the map. During the 19th century, nationalism emerged as a force which brought about sweeping changes in the political and mental world of Europe. The end result of these changes was the emergence of the nation state in place of the multinational dynastic empires of Europe, which was exercised sovereign control over a clearly defined territory. Ernst Renan, he was the French philosopher, delivered a lecture at the University of Sorbonne in 1882. QSCQ, U nation, that means what is a nation? He described a nation is the culmination of a long past endeavors, sacrifice and devotion. A heroic past great men glory are the basic ideas of national idea. To have common glories in the past, to have common will in the present, and to have performed great deeds together. These are the essential conditions of being a people. A nation is therefore a large-scale solidarity. It's existing a daily plebiscite. The chapter deals mainly the European nations such as France, Germany, Italy, UK and Greece. The French Revolution and the idea of nation. The first clear-cut expression of nationalism came with the French Revolution in 1789. The French revolutionaries proclaimed that it was the people who would henceforth constitute the nation and shape its destiny. The idea of la patrie, the fatherland, and le citoyen, the citizen, emphasized a united community enjoying equal rights under a constitution. A new French flag, the tricolor, was chosen. It was given in the background of the video. Chosen to replace the former royal standards. Royal standards like crown, throne, scepter, and sword, etc. These Estates General was renamed as the National Assembly. Earlier, the National Assembly was called Estate General. Now it is called National Assembly. And it was elected by the active citizens, that is, the people who have owned property and who are male 25 years and above have right to vote. They are called active citizens. New hymns were composed, oaths were taken, and martyrs were commemorated. Commemorated means celebrated. Hymns means praising of countries. For example, in India we have national anthem, national songs. Like that, there are songs were written in their countries. Commemorated all in the name of the nation. Internal custom, duties and dues were abolished. A uniform system of weights and measures were adopted. French was made as a national language. Impacts of French Revolution. After the French Revolution, there are many changes took place in Europe. Example, a student and other educated middle class of different cities of Europe began setting up Jacobin clubs as in France. In 1790, the outbreak of the Revolutionary Wars, the French armies were welcomed by these cities. The French armies began to carry the idea of nationalism in abroad. This is Napoleon. You all know very well, last year you could study about him. This year also he is associated with the lesson. During the Revolutionary Wars, Napoleon brought many European territories under his control. Through a turn to monarchy, Napoleon had no doubt destroyed democracy in France. He introduced many of the reforms in the region, such as Dutch Republic, Switzerland, Italy and Germany, that he had already introduced in France. These reforms are called Civil Code of 1804. Civil Code of 1804 was popularly known as Napoleonic Civil Code. It did away all privileges based on birth. It emphasized equality before the law and secured the right to property. He simplified administrative divisions and he abolished the feudal system and manorial dues. Manorial dues is nothing but the serfs have to pay the rent or protection to the masters, landlords. Guild restrictions were removed in the towns. Transport and communication systems were improved. Peasants, artisans, workers and new businessmen were enjoyed by these reforms. Uniform laws, standardized weights and measures and a common currency could benefit the businessmen and small scale producers for the movement of goods and capitals from one region to another regions. With this, Civil Code of 1804 is get over. The initial enthusiasm that French armies were harbingers of liberty soon turned to hostility in the cities like Brussels, Mainz, Milan and Warsaw, because the new administrative system and political freedom were not go hand in hand. Increased taxation, censorship, forced conscription. Conscription is nothing but forced recruitment in the army into French armies for conquer the rest of Europe made people great disappointment. Next is the second topic in the lesson, the making of nationalism in Europe. Until in the mid-18th century, the present day European nations were divided into kingdoms, duchies and cantons whose rulers were autonomous rulers. They did not see themselves as sharing a collective identity or a common culture. The Habsburg Empire was ruled over Austria-Hungary. This region is included the Alpine regions, the Tyrol, Austria and the Sudetenland as well as Bohemia. The people of these regions were aristocracy, predominantly speaking German language. Lombardy and Venetia region people speak Italy. In Hungary, half of the people spoke Magyar, the rest of people speaking different dialects. In Galicia, the aristocracy spoke Polish language. Such differences did not easily promote a sense of political or social unity. The only binding these diverse groups together was a common allegiance. Allegiance is nothing but loyalty to the emperor. Now we are going to learn about a new group of people in the European society. They are divided as aristocracy and new middle class and poor people. The 2.1 topic, first we discuss the aristocracy. The aristocracies were socially and politically a dominant class but minority in Europe. They were united, they owned estates in the countryside and also town houses. They spoke French for diplomacy. Diplomacy means the higher level discussion politically, socially. So they use French for diplomacy in the high society. Their families were connected by marriage alliances. Marriage alliance means they exchange their brides and bridegrooms. The lower classes, that is the poor classes, this class consists of the major population of Europe. Most of them were landless laborers, peasants and worked as serfs. Most of them lived in eastern and central part of Europe. The new middle class. In western parts of Central Europe, the growth of industrial production and trade led to the growth of new towns and the emergence of commercial classes. Industrialization began in England in the second half of the 18th century, but in France and parts of German states and other European countries it occurred only during the 19th century. Under this situation, a new social groups such as working class population and middle classes made up of industrialists, businessmen, professionals. The new emerged middle class have an idea of liberal nationalism. The topic 2.2, what did liberal nationalism stand for? The idea of liberal nationalism is associated with three concepts. They are political liberalism, social liberalism and economic liberalism. First let us discuss political liberalism. In early 19th century, Europe national unity was allied to the ideology of liberalism. The term liberalism derives from the Latin root liber, which means free. Politically, for the new middle class, liberalism stood for freedom for the individual and equality of all before the law. Politically, it emphasized the concept of government by consent. They demanded a constitution and representative government through a parliament. Next is social liberalism. Equality before the law did not stand for universal suffrage, right to vote. It was granted to property-owned men, active citizens. Men without property and all women were excluded from all political rights. They demanded freedom of individuals and press, end of aristocracy and clerical powers. The third one is economic liberalism. In the economic sphere, liberalism stood for the freedom of markets, the abolition of state-imposed restrictions on the movement of goods and capitals like tariffs. During the 19th century, a confederation of 39 states of Germany possessed its own currency. A merchant traveling in 1833 from Hamburg is in Germany, Hamburg to Nuremberg, both cities are in Germany, had to pass through 11 customs barriers. The customs barriers are in our national highways. You can see that toll plazas. These are the customs barriers. For example, L was L was the measure of cloth and L of textile material is different length. In Frankfurt and L was 54.7 centimeter, in Mainz 55.1 centimeter, in Nuremberg 65.6 centimeter. and in Freiburg 53.5 centimeter. Imagine the situation, different places, different cities, different measures are used, how confused it is. To abolish these trade barriers in 1834, a customs union called Zollverein was formed at the initiative of Prussia and joined by most of the German states, that is the Prussian states. The union abolished tariff barriers and reduced the number of currencies from over 30 to TWO2. The next topic is new conservatism after 1815. What is conservatism? After the defeat of Napoleon in 1815, European governments were driven by a spirit of conservatism. Conservatism is a political philosophy or concept or theory that which uphold the importance of tradition, established institutions such as absolute monarchy, monarchs, church and feudalism and customs. The conservatives preferred gradual development to a quick change. Last year itself you studied in history lesson second topic, the Russian Revolution. Do you remember what happened in Europe after the defeat of Napoleon? How did a French territory undergo changes due to the Treaty of Vienna in 1815? The provisions of the Treaty of Vienna of 1815 is Britain, Russia, Prussia, Austria collectively defeated Napoleon, met at Vienna to draw a settlement for Europe. The Congress was hosted by Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. The main object of the treaty was doing the most of the changes that had brought in Europe under Napoleon. The Bourbon dynasty was restored to power. France had lost her territories it had annexed under Napoleon. A series of states were set up on the boundaries of France to prevent French expansion in future. The Kingdom of Netherlands, which included Belgium, was set up in the north and Genoa was added to Piedmont in the south. The western frontiers were given to Prussia. Austria was given control of northern Italy, but the German Confederation of 39 states that had been set up by Napoleon was untouched. In the east, Russia was given part of Poland while Prussia was given a portion of Saxony. Conservative regimes, how was the conservative regimes which was set up in 1815? They were autocratic rulers. They did not tolerate criticism, dissent and suppressed the activities that questioned the legitimacy of their government. Legitimacy means legal power. Most of them imposed censorship over newspapers, books, plays and songs against them. The next topic is the revolutionaries. Who are the revolutionaries? After 1815 in Europe, the fear of suppression, many revolutionaries and liberal nationalists led a underground life. They set up many secret societies. One such revolutionary was Giuseppe Mazzini. He was an Italian revolutionary born in Genova in 1807. He became a member of the secret society called Carbonari. He was exiled in 1831 for attempting a revolution in Liguria. Subsequently, he set up two more secret societies, Young Italy in Marseille and in 1831, two more in France and Young Europe in Bern in 1833 in Switzerland. Bern is the capital of Switzerland. Like-minded young men from Poland, France, Italy and the German states were joined in these secret societies. Mazzini believed that God had indented nations to be the natural units of mankind. Mazzini's relentless opposition to monarchy and his vision of democratic republics frightened the conservatives. Hence, Metternich described him that he was the most dangerous enemy of our social order. The third topic in the lesson is the age of revolution 1830 to 1848. Conservatives consolidated their power. Liberalism and nationalism came with the idea of a revolution in France, Italy, and German states. The provinces of the Ottoman Empire, Ireland, and Poland, the first upheaval took place in France, July 1830. The Bourbon kings, who had been restored to power during the conservative reaction after 1815, were now overthrown by liberal revolutionaries and established a constitutional monarchy with Louis Philippe. Once Metternich remarked that when France sneezes, the rest of Europe catches cold. That means wherever there is any problem arise in France, which catches the remaining part of Europe, which echoes in the remaining part of Europe. The Greek War of Independence. Greece had been part of the Ottoman Empire since 15th century. The Greek War of Independence began in 1821. West Europeans who had sympathies for ancient Greek culture, poet and artist lauded Greece as the cradle of European civilization and supported its struggle against a Muslim ruler. The English poet Lord Byron organized funds and fight in the War of Greek Independence. He died of fever in 1824. Finally, the Treaty of Constantinople of 1832 recognized Greece as an independent nation. In the 3.1 topic is the romantic imagination and national feeling. Culture played an important role in creating the idea of the nation. Art and poetry, stories and music helped express and shape nationalist feelings. What is Romanticism? The word Romanticism mentioned here is a cultural movement which sought to develop a particular form of nationalist sentiment. Romantic artists and poets generally criticized the glorification of reason and science and focused instead on emotions, institutions, and mystical feelings. Other romantics, such as the German philosopher John Gottfried Herder, 1774 to 1803, he claimed that true German culture was to be discovered among the common people, that is Das Volk in German. It was through folk songs, folk poetry, and folk dances that the true spirit of the nation, Volksgeist, was popularized. Next is the Poland struggle for freedom. This country also is developed the national feelings through Romanticism, that is the language. In 18th century, language too played an important role in developing nationalist sentiments. For example, Poland was partitioned by Russia, Prussia, and Austria. National feelings were kept alive through music and language. Karol Kurpinski, an opera musician, celebrated the national struggle through his music and folk dances like the Polonaise and mazurka into nationalist symbols. After Russian occupation, the Polish language was forced out of schools and Russian language was imposed everywhere. In 1831, an armed rebellion against Russian rule took place, which was ultimately crushed. After this, many members of the clergy in Poland began to use language as a weapon of national resistance in the church gatherings and all religious preachings. As a result of large number of priests and bishops were put in jail or exiled to Siberia, which is very cold in the world, cold part of the world, Siberia, as punishment. The use of Polish came to be seen as a symbol of the struggle against Russian dominance. 3.2 topic is hunger, hardship, and popular revolt. The 1830s were years of great economic hardships in Europe. In the most countries, There were more job seekers than employment. People migrated from rural to the cities and lived in overcrowded slums. Slums are the there is no proper drainage system, very dirty place in the cities. Small producers in towns were often faced with stiff competition. This was especially so in textile production. The aristocracy still enjoyed power. Peasants were struggling under the burden of feudal dues and obligations. Food prices was raised due to bad harvest, led to widespread pauperism in town and country. One such year in 1848 was food shortage and widespread unemployment brought the population of Paris out of on the roads. Barricades were erected and Louis Philippe was forced to flee. Next is the Silesian weavers' struggle. In 1845, weavers in Silesia had led a revolt against contractors who supplied them raw materials and gave them orders for finished textiles but drastically reduced their payments. In the village, 18,000 inhabitants were widely engaged in weaving. The workers were extreme miserly. On 4th June at 2 p.m., a large crowd of weavers marched in Paris up to the mansion of their contractor home and demanded higher wages. They were treated with scorn and threats alternatively. Following this, a group of them forced their way into the house, smashed its elegant windows, window panes, furniture, porcelain. Another group broke into the storehouse and plundered it of supplies of cloth which they tore and shreds. The contractor fled with his family to neighboring villages. On the request of the army, he returned within 24 hours. Finally, 11 weavers were shot dead and the revolt came to an end. The next topic is the revolution of the liberals of France. In the year 1848, a revolution was led by the educated middle class in France. In February 1848, with the abdication of the king, the revolutionaries proclaimed a republic based on universal male suffrage. In other parts of Europe, independent nation states did not yet exist. Men and women of the liberal middle classes combined their demands for constitutionalism with national unification for the creation of a nation state on parliamentary principles along with freedom of press and freedom of association. The Frankfurt Parliament, it's a very important topic in this lesson. On 18th May 1848, 831 elected representatives marched in a festive procession. That means they are marching during the Republic Day in India, 26th January Republic Day. How the Indian army people are marching like that, it is they are marching as festive procession and gathered in the Frankfurt Parliament, convened in the Church of St. Paul, because there is no parliament for them, so therefore they assembled in the Church St. Paul and drafted a constitution and proclaimed that Frederick William IV, the King of Prussia, was a constitutional monarchy, but he rejected it and he joined other monarchs to oppose the elected assembly. The parliament lost its support. The next topic is the revolution of the liberals of France. In the year 1848, a revolution was led by the educated middle class in France. In February 1848, with the abdication of the king, the revolutionaries claimed a republic based on the universal male suffrage. In other parts of Europe, independent nation states did not yet exist. Men and women of the liberal middle classes combined their demands for constitutionalism with national unification for the creation of a nation state on parliamentary principles along the freedom of press and freedom of association. The next topic is the Frankfurt Parliament. This is very important in the lesson because it gives idea for the unification of Germany. On 18th May 1848, 831 elected representatives marched in a festive procession and gathered in the Frankfurt Parliament convened in the Church of St. Paul because there is no parliament for them. So here is mentioned a festive procession. That means you could watch it on TV during the Republic Day of India, 26th January. Like that they are marching in the Parliament city towards the Church of St. Paul, and there they gathered and drafted a constitution and proclaimed that Friedrich William IV, the King of Prussia, was constitutional monarchy, but he rejected it and joined with other monarchs to oppose the elected assembly. The parliament lost its support from the aristocracy and military too, because it was dominated by the middle classes who resisted the demands of workers and artisans. So they lost their supports and consequently lost their support. At the end, the troops were called in and the assembly was disbanded. Women's role in the Frankfurt Parliament. Women were not allowed to took part in the decision making. They were allowed to watching the Frankfurt Parliament from the galleries, visitors' galleries. Number of women had participated actively over the years. Women had formed their own political associations, founded newspapers, and taken part in political meetings and demonstrations. In Frankfurt Parliament, women were allowed to only stand in the visitors' gallery as observers. The making of Germany and Italy. This is the fourth topic in this lesson. Germany, can army be the architect of a nation? Unification of Germany. In 1848, the Frankfurt Parliament, however, it was repressed by combined forces of the monarchy and the military, supported by the large landowners called Jungers of Prussia. From then onwards, Prussia took on the leadership of the movement for national unification. The idea of nationalism and nationalist sentiments were often mobilized by conservatives for promoting state power and achieving social domination over Europe. The chief minister Otto von Bismarck, who was the architect of Prussia, took on the leadership of the movement for national unification of Germany. He fought 3 wars in 7 years with Austria, Denmark and France, ended in Prussian victory. After this victory, on the bitterly cold morning of 18 January 1871, an assembly comprising the princes of German states, representatives of the army, important ministers including the chief minister Otto von Bismarck, gathered in the unheated hall of mirrors. Note this, here unheated means it was a cold month. In India also January month is very cold month. So in German they gathered for the sake of nation, unheated hall of mirrors in the palace of Versailles, and proclaimed the new German empire headed by Kaiser William I of Prussia. Next is Italy unification. How was Italy unified? Italy was fragmented before unification, and the middle of the 19th century Italy was divided into 7 states, of which only one Sardinia Piedmont was ruled by an Italian prince. The north was under the multinational Austrian Habsburg, the center was ruled by the Pope, and the south was under the Bourbon kings of Spain. Even the Italian language had not acquired one common form and still had many regional and local variations. During the 1830s, Giuseppe Mazzini had sought to put together for a unitary Italian republic but failed. After the failure of revolutionary uprisings both in 1831 and 1848, now fell in Sardinia Piedmont under its ruler King Victor Emmanuel II to unify the Italian states through war. The chief minister Cavour and Giuseppe Garibaldi joined the war through a tactful diplomatic alliance with France by Cavour. Sardinia Piedmont succeeded in defeating the Austrian forces in 1859. Apart from the regular troops, a large number of armed volunteers under the leadership of Giuseppe Garibaldi marched into South Italy and the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies and succeeded in winning support the local peasants in order to drive out the Spanish rulers. In 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed the King of United Italy. Now you are seeing the map of ununified and unified Italy. Both you compare and study that map. 4.3, the topic is strange case of Britain. There was no British nation prior to the 18th century. The inhabited people of the British Isles were ethnic ones such as English, Wales, Scot or Irish. They had their own cultural and political traditions. Among the four, English grew in wealth, social and political power in the 1688. The English had seized power from the monarchy and formed the United Kingdom of Great Britain by annexed Scotland through the Act of Union of 1707. The political and cultural institutions of Scotland were systematically suppressed. The Scottish Highland were forbidden to speak their Gaelic language or wear their national dress, and large numbers were forcibly driven out of their homeland. Ireland suffered a similar fate. It was a country deeply divided into Catholics and Protestants. The English helped the Protestants of Ireland to establish their dominance over a large Catholic country. The Catholic revolts led by Wolftan against British dominance were suppressed in 1798, and finally it was forcibly included into the United Kingdom in 1801. A new British nation was forged through the propagation of a dominant English culture. The British flag, Union Jack, the national anthem, God Save Our Noble King. This was the national anthem of England. The English language were actively promoted, and the older nations survived only as subordinate partners in this union. Next topic is visualizing the nation. How the people see the nation. People and artists in the 18th and 19th centuries personified a nation through female figures. During the French Revolution, the artists used the female allegory used to portray ideas such as liberty, justice and republic. These are concrete nouns which cannot be seen and touched. So these nouns can be personified through the figure. In France, Mariani, a popular Christian name characterized by liberty and the republic. The red cap, the tricolor, the cockade, the statue of Mariani were erected first public squares to remind the public of the national symbol of unity, and her images were marked on coins and stamps like our Bharat Mata. Similarly, Germania became the allegory of the German nation. Germania wears a crown of oak leaves as the German oak stands for heroism, and sword symbolize ready to fight to protect the German rainy land. The last topic in the lesson is nationalism in imperialism. By the 1870s, nationalism no longer retained its idealistic liberal democratic sentiment. Earlier, the European nations are brought into the people minds nationalism. Now, the nationalism is driving into imperialism. The major European powers manipulated the nationalist aspirations of the subject peoples in Europe to further their own imperialist aims. This led to tensions emerged in the Balkans regions. The Balkan region comprised modern day Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, Greece, Macedonia, Croatia, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Slovenia, Serbia, and Montenegro, and were broadly called Slavs. Slavs. Slaves is different spelling, Slavs is different. Most of the Balkan regions were under Ottoman Empire. He was a Muslim ruler. When the ideas of nationalism spread in the Balkan regions, the Ottoman Empire had not been able to become stronger. Gradually, most of the European subject nationalists broke away from the Ottoman Empire's control and declared themselves independent. Soon, various Slavic nationalities were struggling to define their identity and independence, making Balkan region one having intense conflict. The internal rivalries and jealousies made the Balkan states distrust and fear each other. Here you can see the map of Slavish nations. As the Balkans had become site for big power fights, the situation became even more serious. Russia, Germany, England, and Austria Hungary became rivalry. They wanted to gain control of the Balkan region, causing many wars, which ultimately broke out in the First World War. With this, the lesson came to an end. Have a nice day. Thank you for watching the video.